up, guys? Welcome to 12M Hustle. All right, so welcome to my channel. First time here. I talk about day trading. I'm going to go over this week's trades. Let's get into it. So let's start off by setting the tone on the market. The market has been selling off, going down, down, down. You got the EV sector going down. You got the energy sector going down. You have the S&P 500 going down. You have the NASDAQ going down. You have the Dow Jones. By the way, for those that don't know what those are your three big indices. You got the SPY going down. It's all bad. So I'm going to tell you guys, you can still make some moves in the market like we are now, but this is a slower market. Okay? So this isn't the 2020 where you just, diamond hands, ride the wave all the way up. This is not the way it works. You have to find ways to make money during these slow times. And sometimes you just don't have to take any trades at all. Sometimes that's the best position, is to not take trades. But when there are opportunities, just take the meat of the move and get out. So I'm going to go over my trades that I had for today and yesterday. Let's get into it. So I have Chwy right over here. We're going to get into it. So I have these two lines that I draw, which are my support and my resistance, okay? The reason I have them color coordinated is this yellow line here is going to be my prior support that I drew prior pre-market. All right. I just want to explain to any of those first time watching my video how I trade. And this line right here will be my rejection of how many times it got rejected. All right. I drew that out due to pre-market. And the red lines, I use red lines to get out of my trades. If I'm either shorting or I'm longing, that's what I use to get out of my trades. All right. Just want to break that down for you guys real quick. Let's jump into it. So I shorted Chwy right over here. As you can tell, it broke VWAP. I had volume. I had VWAP, and I had it broke my line. So I had all three of them together. So I was like, let's get into it. So I did a starter right over here, and I just pretty much didn't add onto it. I just let it ride out through the rest of the day. And I got out right at my red line about 76.60. So it was about a 2R on it, reward on it. And it was good. I mean, it was a great play. Traded my plan, so it was awesome. I loved it. Nothing too crazy. So in the slow market or a day that things are selling off really kind of bad, just take the meat of the bone and just get out of the trade. Okay, don't try to keep on going, because if you guys can tell, if I would have kept on trying to get more and be like, oh, I can make more maybe. As you can tell, it kept going up. It started going up, right? Got rejected a couple times and then boom, just went up. Almost a percentage here, and then it sold off again. But why go through that stress? Just make your trading simple. So let's jump into the next one, Nio. So Nio, right off the bat, just gaps up. My plan was not to actually ride the wave up. I wasn't going to long it. I was going to short it. So I have this yellow line here, and that is actually where I was going to start my initial short. But I didn't do that. I actually was kind of just waiting for confirmation. So I actually started at 37. I missed this whole trade of about 1.5%, which is fine with. I don't care, because there was still more to the downside. So I got in at 37, and I wrote it back down to 35. I had a prior line over here of 35.35, but it didn't reach that. And as I could tell, once it got to 35.94, the volume started coming in. Big volume, more than 1 million started coming through. So I just decided to take my profits and just get out. I wasn't going to wait for it. I wasn't going to get greedy and be like, oh, maybe, no. I got in a little late, but I still got a good piece of it. So it was a pretty good trade. Overall, if you come out green, if you trade your plan, then it's a good trade. You don't have to home run all of them. So next one is going to be CLOV. I know you guys have heard of this one, all about the short squeezing and all about this could be the next GameStop. Nobody knows. But I did short this as well. I mean, why not, right? So as you see this pre-market stuff going on here, I didn't see too much volume. I was like, this looks like possible fail. And it did. Once it failed my yellow line, once it failed prior support, I said, let's go. I did a starter side as well. I didn't add into this just because there's so much attention going on behind it. I didn't want a possibility of getting short squeeze. So I just did a small position, and I just wrote it out. I mean, I saw this. I was tempted to get out. I would have got back out if it would have got originally back to where I entered. I would have just got out and made it a wash. I would have been fine with it. But I actually read it out. That's why I had risk management. Didn't have too much share size on, so I could handle the volatility of it going up and down, up and down. So went down, hit my line. Again, once it hits my line, I get out. 848, I got totally out. I didn't get all the way, didn't squeeze it all the way out, but I'm happy with the trade. It was good. Traded my plan. So on to the next one. YVR. I did trade this a couple weeks ago, and I went back and pretty much recycled it today. So as you can see, boom, massive volume, gaps up more than 10%. You're like, whoa, this is awesome. I draw out my lines here. I'm like, whoo, forgot to color code that one. But once it breaks that line, I said I got in it, did a starter side. I did add to this one, so I started, and then I added once more here, and that was it. My line was to get out was actually, I made it yellow just because if you zoom out, I thought it had the possibility of going back down to 2.3. I didn't draw a line there, but I mean, that's why I just left the yellow line. I was like, I'm going to get out here because it was prior. The reason I left this line was this is a prior high of day the day before. So that was the whole reason I did that. I got out. I wasn't feeling I didn't like the volume behind it. I didn't like what was going on with the trade. So, I mean, I made pretty decent profit on it. Got out here, got out my yellow line, 2.6, and for the rest of the day, it looked like it was trying to reclaim VWAP, and it did not. So that was that trade. And the last trade of the day for me was OBLN. So pre-market, this was actually not bad. Didn't have too much volume again, but I liked it. So I had this big gap. The reason I drew this one was because I went off yesterday's high on aftermarket. I was like, maybe it might reach back 3.2 if you get a pop off, and it almost did actually. It reached 3.1. So that's the whole reason I drew that. I was like, and if it reaches here, I'm going to get in. So as you can tell, it didn't go back to 3.2. It didn't have to fall through. So I didn't enter this trade, honestly, until it hit the yellow line, which I should have entered. I messed up. I should have entered back here. Would have been a way better profit, but I didn't. Oh, well, I still got in. I still was a good, ended up being a green trade. I got in midway right over here, half of the 6.9% of what it made going down. And I wrote it all the way back down to about here. Of course, it did not reach my bottom line throughout the regular day trade day. It reached it once they went to aftermarket. But I do not like to trade these tickers in aftermarket because it's just way more volatile, and there's not a lot of volume, as you can tell. Look at that. So I got out here. That's kind of what I saw. I kept getting rejected a couple times, so I got a 2.5 instead of waiting for the whole move of the 2.4. And so that's what I recommend, is always pay attention to your volume. Always recommend, if you got a piece of the meat, it would have been amazing to get it up here. Would have been great to get this full ride, right? But I mean, I got half of it, and plus I got a little more over here, so you can't complain, During these slow markets, just take what you can get, okay? Don't get greedy. We're not back in 2020. Not everything goes up. There's no more diamond hands going on. All right, not now. This is the real market. This is what's going to separate the real traders from the fake traders, all right? The IG gurus from the people that actually put in the work, put in the pre-market work. So trade your plan. Don't just jump on your computer or phone or whatever you're trading on, whatever platform. I don't care. Trade your plan. Wake up early. Go through your stocks. See what's going on. Look at the pre-market. Look at how the stock is acting, and then draw your lines and follow your plan. And that's it. Don't trade with emotions, and you'll be okay. Now remember, don't trade with a lot of money as well. Risk management is very important, because I could have been wrong, right? If I would have shorted here, let's just say I'm wrong. Let's say I short here, and this thing keeps going up, and I'm like, oh, whatever, it's gonna go down. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you're wrong, you got to take that out and then get out, and then reassess the next trade. So these are my recommendations. This was my trading week of the week. Hope you guys enjoy. Please make sure to like, subscribe. Please like. I see you guys are watching these videos. I know you are. Smash that like button. Come on. And you got to subscribe. Just click to subscribe, right, guys? Appreciate it. I hope this brings value to you guys. If it did, please subscribe, please like. And if it didn't, please leave a comment and tell me how I can do better. Appreciate comments.